Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us here in the Breakfast Show with Dina Hussein and myself, Mohammed Abdulrahim. As we said, dear viewers, at the beginning, we were going to talk about how the four Egyptian clubs that are playing in the respective African Club Championships qualify to the next rounds. Four successes for Ahli, Zamalek, Pyramids, and Al Masri of Port Said. Ahli and Zamalek, of course, in the Champions League, in the CAF Champions League, and Pyramids and Al Masri in the Cup. Of course, that Confederations Cup that was won by Zamalek just this past May. Ali had an easy time of it, really, in the first two rounds. There was something like 13-0 on aggregate against a Sudanese club, which was called Itla Barra. And then in the next round, they won away from home by 2 goals and at home by more than 3. And they were really impressive. While Zamalek, after beating Diki Daha of Somalia, also by an aggregate of 13-0, it was very ironic. They lost to Génération Foot of Senegal 2-1 away from home, but then the Senegalese team withdrew from the second leg that was to be played at the beginning of this week, and that's why Zamalek is qualified to the group stage. Of course, just awaiting confirmation from CAF. Still awaiting confirmation, but all indications point to the fact that Ahli and Zamalek will be in the group stage of the CAF Champions League, Africa's top club competition. By the way, Ahli are rated in the first level and Zamalek in the second level, so they might be together in the same group. That might be interesting for football lovers here in Egypt to see Ahli and Zamalek play not only 2 times in the league, not only in the Super Cup, another upcoming Super Cup, but also at least 2 times in the African Championship. While Pyramids, which had a really good season last year and finished 3rd, very close 3rd in the league, and Al Masri also had a good time of it in the Confederations Cup, and who knows, maybe one of them will repeat Zamalek's feat and the Confederations Cup will stay in Egypt, just like the Champions League might return to Egypt via Ahli or Zamalek this year.
Right now we have with us over the phone live Dr. Yomna Hamaky, Professor of Political Science. Good morning, Dr. Hamaky.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
We need to talk about the recent decision by the Ministry of Supplies that was announced that it had returned nearly 2 million people to its food subsidy program since February. According to the directives of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who have gathered the whole ministries, not only the Ministry of Supplies, but all the ministries, to be able and gave very, very clear and sharp directives that the government should alleviate the burdens over the low-income brackets. How is that decision going to fulfill the mission?
Actually, this tendency towards supporting low-income people in Egypt is quite important, besides the middle class too. Why? Because, they suffered a lot after the economic reform, devaluation of the Egyptian pound and the inflation. All these aspects had affected seriously several brackets of the society, and we can consider the ration card as a very important, way in to support poor people to have their basic needs. Still, we have to mention that this tool has been subject to, rectifying. Why? Because we have more than 80 million people benefiting from this system, and I believe that some of them, they don't deserve to benefit from the ration cards. That's why, there was a deep concern regarding restructuring the system in order to exclude those who are not in need and don't deserve, to be subsidized. In doing that, there were several mistakes, and people in these low brackets, they cannot afford going every day to offices in order to try to ask for their needs, and parts of the family, when parts of the family are excluded, this affected seriously their possibility to take the basic needs using ration card. This affecting the quality of life and basic needs. From here it comes, what happened.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yomna Hamaky. You are a professor of political science. Thank you for talking to the breakfast show this morning. And I guess, Muhammad, this
yes,
brings us,
Dina, therefore,
to the end.
with this economic and business item, I also thank Dr. Yom, and we come to the end of this edition of the breakfast show. Happy to have been with you, Dina. Thank you.
My real pleasure. Thank you so much.